Alright YouTube, I'm back. Now I zoomed in a little. I'm at 30 yards. I'm going to see if I can take that jug off my bow target with my homemade sling I made. The original slingshot. So, pardon me for a second. I've got to find some rocks. Okay, right now I'm in a granite sand pit. So this is all granite sand. So the rocks I have to deal with are granite style, pretty sharp, jagged. Not gonna fly really straight. Really want some smooth river rocks, but that's the size I'll be chucking. So let's see if I can hit that dang jug. I used to be good when I was a kid. I could actually hunt with these things because I'd lived in the mountains for a decent portion of my life. Like, lived in the mountains, you know, like by the mountains, in the mountains, like that was our habitat. You guys see that? That rock couldn't even take the pressure I threw it under. It fucking split in half. Fucking rocks, dude. Come on. Kidding me? Try one other. See if this rock will hold. It was straight. Now I just need to bring it down. You guys, I hope you guys can hear that. These rocks are probably going 100 miles an hour. Spinning around is throwing my aim off. That's how I get my good throw in. I'll just try just a regular. Damn, I can't believe how far off I am. I used to be pretty good. But when you live that way every day of your life as a kid, and that's all you do for fun, is play with these things, you get really good. Like, scary good. I'm noticing that they keep flying up further to the left. So I'm gonna have to start letting go further to the right. That went way up on the mountain. Okay, let's see if I can find some more decent rocks here. All I need is like one good smooth round rock. It's not gonna break in half on me after I let it go. Alright, I got 3 different sizes here. I'll start from big and work my way to the smallest. 3 different sizes. I'm gonna start with the big one first. So you can throw some boulders out of these beasts. And honestly, I could throw one of these, a boulder this big, 80 yards probably. I mean, maybe even further. Because I know this whole field is further than 80 yards, all the way past. All the way past clear down here, past this hill, past all that. It's got to be about 80, 90 yards. And this will go way past that. I'm not even kidding. These things are awesome. Look, that rock split in half. That's why you need river rock. Granite stone might be hard, but granite, it's also weak. Granite. No pun intended. Just kidding. That was intended. I'm a nerd. What can I say? I'm a nerd. Ask my brother, he'll tell you. Getting closer. That one kind of hurt my elbow. Well, as you guys can see, I'm getting closer with each throw. If I had smooth rocks, I probably would have hit the jug by now. But I made this out of some thick cowhide, softened it, cut this with a knife a bunch of times, different directions. As you can see, that way it kind of really grips the rocks that you put in there. You know, because sometimes you'll find super smooth rocks that will slide out. So if you do want to make one of these, don't cut too deep. I cut a little too deep on this one, but you want to checker it. Square cuts, small ones, you know, and rough it up with some sandpaper, and then treat it with some oil, and you'll have yourself a pretty good sling, man. I used some 350 paracord for mine. Usually you use leather strap. The reason why I tied this strings on here, the orange is the longer string. That's the one you hold on to. The gray is the shorter string. So instantly I don't have to look for lengths. I know which one's longer, which one's shorter. I thought that's new age. That's some good shit. I covered it all the way down. I still want to do on this one, but I ran out of thread. But it makes it to where it's a little more accurate. It's easier to grab, and these strings right here, they don't tangle up when you're grabbing them. It's something you can't have happen when you're in the field hunting or something. But when you make these, for your string length, for your short string, you're going to want to go from your shoulder to right there. You see that? That's your short one. For your length, you need to measure your arm length for your sling, okay? And for the long one, you're going to go past, okay, to the tips of your fingers, to your shoulder. See what I'm saying? That's your long one. This is the one you hold on to, and you let the shorter string go. So the longer string gives it that snap. When you let go, it'll be like shablap, and just rockets it out. You guys seen it and heard. I mean, these things have power. I mean, those rocks look solid to me, and I squelched them and everything, and they didn't break it in half. But as soon as I throw them in this, the sheer force just right in half. You guys seen it? These things are, they're just so badass. I mean, it is fucking awesome. You know, I kind of almost thinking about maybe patenting one with a little thicker right here and make them belts to where you can have your own belt. You know what I'm saying? Lace it through, and you got your own belt. Bam! If you're ever out in the woods or you get stranded, you need something to hunt. Bam! Pull it out. You got something to hunt with. You know what I'm saying? But I plan on doing that. It's gonna be a little patent idea of mine. I have all kinds of ideas. Some were stolen. Like that Nike shoe that tells you how far you run. That was my idea. I came up with that first. And I sent it into Event Tech, and they're like, "Oh, it's a golden idea. It's a golden idea, dude. Like, fucking, this is gonna be worth so much." Like, you know. And I told them I wanted to sell it, the shoe to Nike. I named those shoes Boonswear is what they're gonna be. They had to change it up to where it wouldn't be just like my idea, because I also made it to where the toes of the shoe were like solar panel type material, to where it would continuously charge the battery for the radar that it's tracking how far you run. That way you never have to replace batteries or anything. Like, they would constantly be charging. And I figured it would either be the toe of the shoe, and if that's too complex, I drew another diagram that would have been the tab on the back of the shoe would be a little solar panel that would catch the sun and charge your batteries. That was my idea. And they're like, oh, it's the greatest idea ever, pretty much is what they told me on the phone. They're like, now that I sent them all the paperwork, they sent me paperwork, I drew my schematics out, everything for it, I sent it back in. Then they're like, this is awesome, we're gonna do this. Now we need $900 to fabricate your idea so we can go to Las Vegas to the convention centers and sell your idea. My father-in-law at the time said he would help me because he was going with me on this, and he heard them tell me it was a good golden idea. And he refused to help me with the $900 to fabricate the shoe. Even though I told him he would have royalties for the rest of his life, I'd have gave him royalties. And he said no, so I missed out on that. I could have been pretty fortunate, my family, financially fortunate. I am fortunate with my family and my children, and above all with God in my life. Like, everything is always good with God in your life. Money sometimes complicates my family life more than it does when we don't have any money. So I'm still iffy about having money, because money really, the love of money truly is the root of all evil. The love of money. Not money, but the love for money. But anyways, it's enough ranting, But I figured, instead of my videos being so boring, I'm going to really start trying to talk your guys' ears off about shit that I just think about, maybe get some comments, good, bad, ugly, whatever. I can deal with constructive criticism very well. I'm a smart person, and a smart person isn't afraid to empty their cup and relearn shit. And that's me. I always want to learn. So God bless you guys, and thank you to my subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, man. It's cool. I plan on doing more primal stuff. I'm going to do fire starting with primal, just wood, rubbing woods, get a flat piece of wood, dry wood, get a little groove going in there, and find another dry little stick and do the rub bit. I'm going to try that. Some shelter making, just some survival stuff, because I know there's a lot of people that might not even know how to make a decent hut for out in the woods if they got stranded, and one of the main keys you want to remember if you do get stranded out in the woods with a couple different people is, for one, you gotta figure out who's going to be leader, which is going to be the one that's silent and keeps us cool and isn't flipping out. That's usually going to be your leader. And then when you do start accomplishing things like making a shelter, as soon as you make that shelter, have a small celebration of happiness and joy, so you and your crew that you're stuck with doesn't flip out and wind up going insane because they're lost, because that can really get to people's heads. So each time you accomplish something, it's important to celebrate, to have a small celebration. That's why in my bug out bags I got baseballs, I got a frisbee, deck of cards, just small things like that can mean the world when you're out with nothing but surviving and worrying about living. If you can just take your mind off of things like that just a little bit, it makes being stranded that much better. It makes it to where you can actually push on and feel happy about your position and where you're at, instead of freaking out and thinking there's no hope. Because if you can have fun out doing something like that, then you're definitely going to have a little more hope, a little more celebration. The first thing when you're stranded is shelter. Find shelter, make shelter as soon as possible. Try not to burn that much calories and energy. And then second, I would definitely have to say is water, because you need water. Always. If you have a couple people, I would have one person off looking for water that was had smarts enough to find good clean water, and the rest of us would be building the shelter. You know, I'd send 2 off for water and keep the rest with shelter, because you don't ever want to send somebody off by themselves because they could slip, get hurt, not have anyone there to help them out. So you really always want somebody, you pair up always. It's just better than one, you know, because one could be watching your back while the other one's looking for water, or really not concentrating on his surroundings as well, because when you're out in the woods, you're not the predator, the top predator anymore. You know, you're fair game in the woods, all around. They're fair game to you, you're fair game to them. It's all mutual. There's no top of the food chain, unless you got the smarts to make yourself top of the food chain. Otherwise, bears and mountain lions and just the ravage animals around here like that would, you know, they'd take you down pretty quick. Even the coyotes, we have hordes of coyotes around here that at nighttime you could just hear them just going off, just crazy, man. Coyotes are nuts, so you really want to keep an eye out for them too. But I'm getting pretty hot here in my black shirt. Everything's starting to warm up. Morning time's over. I had a good time this morning. I was actually able to do a lot more talking, like I've been wanting to, and it wasn't just a bunch of nonsense and bullshit. It's actually stuff that's meaningful to me. So, if you others find it meaningful, awesome, man. That's cool. And God bless. And I'll yak at you guys later. Yakety yak. Don't talk back. Take out the papers in the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. Just kidding.